I'm going to tell you a story that honestly still makes my hands shake. It's a story about trust, family, and how a simple act of kindness cost me $47,000 and potentially ruined my relationship with the only sister I have. It all started so innocently. About 3 months ago, my sister Chloe called me. She was tearful. You know, the kind of choked up cry that instantly makes you drop everything. She'd just been through a terrible breakup, moved into a new place, and her bank account was apparently empty. She asked for a huge favor. "Anna," she said, "I just need to buy groceries to get through the week. My new debit card hasn't arrived yet. Can I please borrow your credit card? I'll buy what I need and I'll pay you back tomorrow when my wire transfer comes through. I promise, just for groceries." I hesitated, I really did. It was my Platinum Rewards card, my emergency card, the one with the huge limit, the one I used to put aside points for my big Europe trip next year. But she was my sister. She was distraught, and she just needed food. I told myself it would be a small charge, maybe $200 tops. I gave her the card number over the phone, the expiration date, even the 3-digit code on the back. I explicitly told her, "Chloe, this is for groceries only. Do not use it for anything else. Pay me back tomorrow." She promised. She thanked me 1,000 times. And that was that. I even got a text later that night saying, "Thank you, sis. Saved me. I love you." The next day came and went. No text, no repayment. I didn't push it. She was going through a lot. I figured I'd see a $150 charge, and she'd get it to me when she could. Then the next day passed. Then a week. Then a whole month. I'm busy. I don't check my credit card statement obsessively. I only looked again when the new billing cycle was about to close, and the minimum payment notification popped up on my banking app. It was $1,500. Higher than usual. Way higher. I thought, wait, I didn't spend that much. I opened the statement, and honestly, the first few minutes, I thought it was a technical error. A glitch. It had to be. My heart started beating so hard, I could hear it in my ears. I scrolled down through the charges. There were a few small, legitimate things. My Netflix, a tank of gas, a few purchases from Amazon that I recognized. And then, a name jumped out at me. A business name. It wasn't Safeway. It wasn't Kroger. It was a name I didn't recognize, followed by a dollar amount that made my blood run cold. Charge 1. Dr. Elias Vang, cosmetic surgery. $1,500. A consultation fee, I'd later find out. What on earth is that? Maybe it was a flower shop with a weird name? Maybe a health food store? No. I immediately Googled Dr. Elias Vang. He's one of the most exclusive, high-end Beverly Hills plastic surgeons, specializing in reconstructive facial procedures, the kind of doctor celebrities use. A kind of doctor who charges more for a 20-minute consultation than I make in a week. I started scrolling faster. Charge 2. Dr. Elias Vang cosmetic surgery. $12,000. Charge 3. Dr. Elias Vang cosmetic surgery. $18,500. This one was listed as major surgical procedure fee. Charge 4. Dr. Elias Vang cosmetic surgery. $8,000. And this is what makes me absolutely sick to my stomach because it was a follow-up charge. Clearly, a final payment for the hospital stay and recovery. Charge 5. Dr. Elias Vang cosmetic surgery. $7,000. The total, I punched it into the calculator app just to make sure my eyes weren't lying to me. The total damage, $47,000. $47,000 charged to my credit card. Not for groceries, not for food, not for rent, but for cosmetic surgery. My sister didn't use my card for a loaf of bread. She used it for a new nose. Or cheekbones. I don't even know, and I don't care. My entire body went numb. I was staring at a PDF document that was proof of a lie so massive, so calculated, it changed everything I thought I knew about my own family. My emergency fund, my travel points, my entire credit score history, all of it was suddenly on the line because my sister wanted a rhinoplasty or a facelift or whatever procedure she decided was more important than my financial security. I called the plastic surgeon's office. I pretended to be Chloe and asked about a statement for the services rendered. They couldn't give me details because of patient confidentiality, but they confirmed that the charges were for services rendered to a Chloe. And they confirmed the dates matched my statement. They even said the card was charged in person and that they had a copy of the card and a signed authorization form. Her signature, using my card. When I finally called her, I didn't yell. My voice was eerily calm, which probably terrified her more than any screaming fit could have. "Chloe," I said. "I just saw my credit card statement. You need to explain to me how my card has $47,000 in charges from a Dr. Elias Vang, a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills." There was dead silence on the other end, for what felt like an eternity. I could hear her breathing, shallow and fast. Finally, she whispered, "Anna, I was going to tell you." "Going to tell me? After a month? After the money was spent and the procedure was done?" "After I was on the hook for the massive minimum payment." The excuses started pouring out. She said she felt so insecure after the breakup. She said this was a one-time thing that would help her get her confidence back and get a better job and maybe even meet a better partner. She was crying hysterically, begging me not to report it. She said she would pay me back, and that's when I hit her with the harsh reality. "Chloe, you don't have an extra $47,000. You asked to borrow $200 for groceries last month. If you truly had a wire coming, you wouldn't have used my card for a $1,500 initial consultation. You stole this money from me. This isn't just debt. This is credit card fraud. It's identity theft. And do you know what the worst part is? You risked my life savings and my credit just so you could look different." She tried to minimize it. "But I used the money. It's done now. I can't undo it. Can't we just work out a payment plan?" She suggested $50 a week. $50 a week. That would take her 18 years to pay off. 18 years while I'm stuck with a maxed out card and a massive interest rate. I told her I was going to file a police report. I told her the only way I wouldn't is if she somehow produced the $47,000 by the end of the week. And that's when the conversation ended. She hung up, and she hasn't picked up since. She only sends me frantic texts begging me not to call the police. So where am I now? I had to file a police report for identity theft and credit card fraud. Yes, against my sister. It's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever had to do, but I had to choose. My sister's vanity and poor life choices, or my own financial future. I chose myself. I had to. The process of disputing the charges with the credit card company is a nightmare. Because I voluntarily gave her the number for the initial grocery purchase, they are making it incredibly difficult to prove the rest as fraud. They said, "You authorized the use of the card." I have to send them the police report. The explicit text messages saying the card was for groceries only, and a sworn affidavit that I did not authorize $47,000 in plastic surgery. My lawyer said this could take 6 months to resolve. 6 months of potential legal hell. I had to hire a lawyer. I had to pay $500 for a deep dive credit check to make sure she hadn't opened any new cards in my name or applied for a loan. I'm scared to check my mail because I'm worried about collection notices. My Europe trip, canceled. My savings, exhausted. Just trying to make the minimum on a card that she maxed out, just to keep my credit score from completely tanking. I'm making this video for 2 reasons. First, to process. to tell the story that I can't tell my wider family yet, because I don't know how to deal with the fallout. What do you tell your parents? That their youngest daughter is a thief and a felon? And second, to give a warning. Do not give anyone access to your credit card information. No matter how much you love them, no matter how desperate they sound, a sister, a brother, a parent, it doesn't matter. Once they have that number, that 3-digit code, you have lost control. Because sometimes the person you trust the most is the one who sees you not as family, but as a walking, breathing $47,000 piggy bank. Thank you for listening. I'll post updates on the legal side and what happens with the credit card company. If any of you have been through something like this, please share your advice below.